everyone. We have 6 or 7 participants, and let me begin, okay? Can everybody hear me? Please turn off the phones, just the cameras on. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for partaking in the Propell Workshop. This workshop series is a partnership between Brazilian universities and International Cooperation Group, GCUB, and the Educational Testing Service, ETS. Today's sessions will cover Propell Workshop for the TOEFL iBT test, overview of the TOEFL iBT, plus reading session. Okay, I would like to start by greeting on behalf of the GCUB Board of Directors, the ETS Director, Adiane Bloom. Adiane Bloom, Associate Director of ETS and TOEFL Customer Relations in Brazil. She is dedicated to promoting and supporting academic mobility in Brazil and holds a master's degree in teaching English as a second language, acting as the Brazilian representative of the ETS TOEFL program. She aims to help academic institutions in Brazil meet their internalization goals, applying 8 years of knowledge and experience in academic relations and negotiations with the higher education community, including bilingual high schools and English-speaking institutes. Adiane is also responsible for developing services related to implementation of TOEFL business marketing for Brazil. Now I give the floor to Ms. Adiane to make the forwards and hope everyone enjoys this experience.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very, very, very happy to be here. And I'm speaking from Brasília. And it's a very rainy Brasília right now. And I would like to know from all of you, where are you are right now? Where are you watching this presentation? Where are you attending this presentation from? Which institution do you represent? I know that you're representing in GCUB University, and I've been in most of the 89 associated university, but please use the chat to introduce yourself, tell us where are you from, where you are right now, and which university you represent. So as Andressa just shared with you, I am the ETS associate director, and I represent the TOEFL iBT and the TOEFL Essentials. Both of these tests are used for higher education purposes. So we are here today to provide information on the TOEFL iBT, specifically to help you, helping your students with the challenges of teaching English for academic purposes. Okay, so let's talk about what we are going to cover today. So from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., which we are hoping that we are going to cover the objectives of this workshop, and we are going to do a 10-minute warm-up activity called Gallery Walk, which we are going to have the 11 of you guys who are here on Zoom working together to talk a little bit about the skills that students will need, language skills, English language skills that the student would need in order to have success in their first year of university studies. Okay, reading, listening, speaking, and writing. We also would like you to talk about activities, any tips or ideas of activities to improve those skills. I'm going to give an overview, to share an overview of the TOEFL iBT test in that 1 hour and a half. And also I'm going to share a little bit of the TOEFL iBT home edition readiness. You know that now the student can take the home edition from home, right? I mean, the TOEFL iBT from home, right? Since the pandemic hit us, the TOEFL iBT now can be taken from home. And today we're going to give an overview of the reading section of the TOEFL iBT, right? And we are going to give 2 sessions, short sessions for Q&A, okay? If you have any questions, we'll divide it into 2 short sessions. After the overview of the TOEFL home edition, and in the end of the workshop. Okay, sorry, in the end of these sessions, we will have a little bit of time for questions, okay? All right, so before I forget, okay, I'm going to talk about these voucher opportunity, okay? I'm sure that you've heard about these exclusive voucher discount that both TOEFL iBT, ETS, and GCUB have created. This is a campaign of discount for those who are taking the test and who need a discount. And so this is a very, very exclusive discount, because the student can pay for the test in reais, okay, in reais, because as you know, the test, this is an international test, so the test taker needs to go to the website and pay with an international card, and they need to pay in dollar. But with this partnership, the candidate, it can be a teacher, student, a staff, they can pay in reais if they buy the voucher through the GCUB, okay? So it's a 15% discount that they get through this promotion, okay? So if you have any doubt, any question, just please go and talk directly with the GCUB team, right, Andressa?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, or if you wanna just go ahead and subscribe for the discount, that's the QR code that takes you directly to register for the discount.
You can find it at LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and the official site of GCUB. Ms. Adian, we have some students and teachers from Serra Talhada, from Dourados, from Colombia, and
wow, we have people from Colombia
and Rio de Janeiro. Yeah,
that's great. What is the name of the student from Colombia?
Johan Steve Rodriguez.
Wow.
Johan or Johan, I don't know.
Welcome everybody who's here attending this workshop. We're very, very welcoming, and I hope that you are we can provide you with many information and many insights in order for you to help your students be prepared for the TOEFL iBT. And it's important to remind you that in the end of this workshop, you know that there will be 3 sessions. Okay, we're gonna cover all the sections of the test. And in the last session, we will provide a list. We will provide a list with links for all the information that we are sharing here. All the information, research base for the TOEFL iBT, registration, scoring information, all the information that we're sharing here, we will provide a link. Okay, I mean, we're providing a list with links. Okay, but that's going to be for the final session. Okay, and the GCUB team will provide through the chat. Okay.
Okay,
right.
just reminding about the certificate. Please note that in order to receive the digital certificate, you must confirm at least 2 sessions of the Propell workshop. The official certificate of participation is offered by ETS and GCUB.
Okay, yeah, that was a very good reminder, Andressa. It is going to be a certificate of attendance that we will provide. Okay, it's an official certificate, but we are asking that you attend at least 2 sessions, okay, in order for you to receive this certificate. Okay, and we will send it to you in about 1 week after the workshop, because we need to receive the attendance list from GCUB. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the workshop materials that you are receiving. Okay. Obviously that we cannot cover all the material in the book today. You are receiving, Andressa is sharing a link for the TOEFL Teacher Workshop Manual. That's the book that you're receiving. Okay, that's for free. That's the linking that you receive. It's a handbook. And like I said, we cannot cover all the material in that book today. So we will need to spend time after the workshop reviewing these materials and thinking about how to use them. So today I want to make sure that you are aware of what you have here, and to give you guidance for how to use it after today. Okay, so these are the sections that you will find on the handbook. Okay, and the online for the online materials, okay, the audio books, okay, you will find that the audio books, you will find it here. Okay, for the audio books. Okay. All right, so let's talk about workshop objectives. Okay, so why are we here? Why are you gonna spend about 6 hours learning about the TOEFL iBT? So in this workshop, you will first review the test content. Okay, all the content on the TOEFL iBT, we are going to review it in these 6 hours. And we are going to identify the language skills that are measured on the test. And we're going to show you how those skills are related to academic success, and explain and use the scoring guides for speaking and writing to score real test taker responses. So you are going to listen to speaking responses, and reading to writing responses, real responses, okay, in order to rate those responses. using guides, same guides that ETS raters use in order to correct those answers. You also will identify classroom learning objectives. You will learn very soon that ETS work with learning objectives for each questions that she uses on the TOEFL test. They work with learning objectives for each skill. You also we will demonstrate classroom activities for skill development and assessment based on TOEFL iBT test learning objectives. And of course, we're going to share ideas for activities and lesson plans using the learning objectives. All right, so now that we learned why we're here, learning what are the workshop objectives, let's talk about a little bit about the TOEFL portfolio. I'm sure you know that there are different types of TOEFL, right? There's not just one TOEFL test. But I always like to share this slide, not only with the teachers, but also with the students, because there are, for all types of applications, all types of programs, they require a different type of TOEFL, okay? And for each type of TOEFL, there is a different type of level of English, right? A level of English. You know that kids at age 8 through 8 plus and 11 plus, they take TOEFL. Yes, they do take TOEFL. Okay, they're called, these TOEFL tests are called TOEFL primary for those kids who are 8 and over, 8 and plus, and TOEFL junior for those kids who are 11 and over 11 years old. Okay, these tests are used for example, bilingual schools, schools that focus on English classes, and they want to see the students' level, so they use these tests. But we're not interested in these tests. We, as higher education teachers, we're interested in these 3 tests here. And today, we're more interested in this green one here, which is called TOEFL iBT test, which assesses 4 skill English proficiency at the university level. And kids that are ages 16 plus, they can take this test, which assesses level A2 to C2 level, okay? Basic to proficient level, okay? So TOEFL iBT, TOEFL ITP, TOEFL iBT, and TOEFL Essentials, which is the newest TOEFL test, okay? Today, we're going to focus only on the TOEFL iBT, which is accepting more than 11,000 institutions all over the world, okay? All right. So now that you know that our focus today is going to be on the TOEFL iBT, you know the objectives of our workshop, the workshop today, I would like you to focus on skills, academic English skills and abilities needed for success, okay? So think about reading, listening, speaking, and writing skills that your student, okay, at a higher education level will need in order to be successful. Not only if they go study abroad, but if they are studying here in Brazil, if they're studying here in Brazil, okay, at a higher education level, okay, and we are going also ask you to list at least one type of one tip or idea for activity, okay, to improve those skills, okay. Ignore this, okay, because it's not it's the same. So I wanted to delete this, and I ended up not deleting. So I wanted to say here, each group will list one tip or idea for English classroom activity, and I didn't do it, so my apologies, okay. So I wanted you to do this, and if you have time in this 10 minutes, I would like to add to discussion. No, oh, my cat. Can you believe
It's a beautiful cat.
Oh, thank you. She came and she wanted to say hi. And if you have time to add any question about the TOEFL iBT that you wanted to add, please feel free. Okay, you are welcome to ask any question. Okay, if you have time. Okay, ask any question during the discussion. Okay, so again, list one type of skill, one skill, okay, either reading, listening, speaking, or writing, that you think that students will need in order to be successful in English academic environment, okay. Remember, English academic environment, okay, is not general English, it's English, it's academic English, okay, it's English in the university level, okay. Also, list one tip, one idea for an activity to improve that skill. And if you have time, discuss if you want to ask question when you come back, okay. So you will have 10 minutes, and we are going to put you in groups. We're going to divide the 10 of you. You are 10. So you are 10. We are going to divide you in groups of 3. 3 groups of 3. How that sound? Do you think that's gonna work, Andressa? Let's do 3 groups of 3, and we're going to give them 8 to 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay. I will create the breakout rooms and let them in.
Since this is a small group, let's use just 8 minutes. Otherwise, yeah, let's give them, because I'm looking at the time, it's already 6:30. Okay. So
okay.
Just 8 minutes.
I will sign them.
Thank you.
Time.
So I will see you in 8 minutes for you to discuss. And if you have any question before you go to the room to discuss this, please let me know. And if you want to take a picture of the screen now in order for you to have it when you're discussing, I think it's a good idea.
Okay, when we're ready, just now.
Someone has raised their hand. I think they have a question. It's Johan.
Go on.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, and thank you for your invitation. It's an honor for me to be here.
Hi, Johan.
I'm from Colombia, and I am very happy to be with you.
We are happy too.
Okay, well, I am also participating for the scholarships for the group, you know, for the group of Brazilian universities.
That's great.
And yeah, awesome. So when I knew about this event, well, I was first on the list. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, well, I would like to know about the test, because you said that this is different from the general tests, because I have well, I present the tests. Okay, I present a test every 2 years for my work here in my country. So I generally take the APTIS test, which is also, you know, it also has the 4 competences. So it's also interesting. But you talk about the academic, English test. Sorry, my dogs are crazy. Okay, so you talk about the academic test. What about the? Is there a difference between this like regular and general English and the academic test English that you are offering? Do you understand my question?
Yeah, I understood your question. Today we're talking about the TOEFL iBT, which is, like you said, academic English test. Is that the test that you are interested in? Is that the test that you are working with, or you are working with other tests? Because today we're focusing on the TOEFL iBT, which is academic English test. But I can answer that question when we're back from the gallery walk activity, or I can answer that question. We can talk about different tests privately. I can talk with you a lot about other tests. And actually, I represent the TOEFL Essentials as well, which is a test that is 50% academic and 50% general test. But right now we're focusing on the TOEFL iBT, and I will ask you to join the other participants to join the gallery walk, because we have very short time to finish this workshop. So if you don't mind, when we finish this activity, we can talk a little bit more about, and I can tell everyone the difference between the TOEFL iBT and the TOEFL Essentials. How that sounds?
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, let them go. Okay. There, Professor Dian, they are going to the classrooms, breakout rooms.
Perfect. Thank you.
Are you going to enjoy the breakout rooms with them?
Yes, you can add me to one. You can add me. So Edson is already there, right? Or no?
Not yet.
Not joined.
Gianni, I am, in fact, sorry, but I can't enter because I'm gonna leave in a few minutes, okay? Remember that I have a webinar today as well, okay? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Worry,
So that's why I can join.
Okay, don't worry. Thank you.
So I'll move you to the room 3, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Okay.
So it's only 8 minutes, right?
Okay, I will check at the 6:42 minutes. We're gonna stop.
I think that's fine, because we will discuss more.
Okay.
And that's yeah.
Okay, I've signed you, and I'm going to wait. who hasn't joined the classrooms, please enter the room 2 and 1 to keep on the exercise, please. Hello, everyone. Is it working for everyone? The breakout rooms, we still have 2 minutes. Okay, everybody's going back. Let them back. Okay. We still have some in room 1. We are slowly getting back. Oh, we have 3-1 trapped in room 1. I'm waiting for them. Okay, everybody's back. Okay.
Hello.
Is it working? Everybody's listening?
Yes, we are here, Andressa. I think everybody's here already.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you can close close the rooms. I think everybody's here.
It's already closed.
Yeah. All right. So I think what I would like to discuss now is what the 3 groups. The good thing is that we have small groups, and the group that it was just me and Viviane. And so we have small groups. So I would like you to, talk a little bit of what you discussed. What type of abilities would you like? What type of skills did you discuss? Which skills did you choose to talk? And which tips or ideas did you choose to improve that skill? And if you have any questions about the TOEFL iBT, so what do you think? What type of skills do you think it's important, is necessary for success, for your students to have success, at least in the first year of their academics, university studies? Who would like to start? And just a reminder that I would allow you just like 1 minute for 1 or 2 minutes for each group to talk, in order for us to have time for other topics.
Okay, don't be shy. Who's the first? I saw Cassius talking in a room, Mirella. Guys, don't be shy. Oh, they all shy. Oh, Johan, go on.
Okay, well, I think it's me. It's my turn.
Yes,
okay.
please.
Well, I think, okay, well, I think the most important aspect students need, to get skills, basic skills, because, it's basic when they are learning the language like English. It's important for them to get the competences, so if they want to develop these competences, what they need to do is to, first of all, train the listening part, because what they need to do first is to understand what people say, what they hear. And after that, they I think they are prepared to start producing, but it's just with time, you know. It's not like something, you know, that comes like from one day to another. It takes a lot of time. So it's important to know that because it's good to explain them the process. In that way they can, you know, they are very smart and they can understand it, so they know what we expect from them. So it helps them a lot, and of course it also helps us because it's going to get like way easier to teach them, you know. So I think maybe that's the correct way.
Thank you, Johan. That was very helpful. Thank you so much for your input.
You're very
Anybody
welcome.
else? Anybody else would like to share their insights on skills and abilities needed for
I
success?
saw them then speaking a lot, but in Portuguese, I want to hear them.
You can always, you can speak in Portuguese, okay? If you feel more comfortable speaking in Portuguese, you are very welcome to share. If you don't want to use your mic, you're very welcome to chat, okay? Use the chat and chat in English or chat in type in Portuguese, okay? If you want to just use some words and Andressa can read aloud for us, okay?
Okay, just a minute.
We know that you have shared a lot about your experience. We know that you have a lot to share with us, okay? Well, from your experiences as a teacher. And so while you are being shy, but you want to share, you're gonna use the chat. I'm gonna comment on Johan's insights and input. I totally agree with him when he says that the students need to understand that they need to train their listening. They need to practice. Because when they start to study English, many of them give up because they start to study English, they think that they are gonna start talking, and that's not true. So then they give up. So they need to practice because it's a process, right, Johan? It's a process. It takes a lot of time, like he said. It takes a lot of time because it's a process. You need to first train your listening, practice, and practice. And then you're gonna start to speak. You're gonna start to produce. So, and many students, that's our challenge as professors, right? As teachers, many students, they don't understand that. They want to start speaking. They want to start speaking. And when they think that they cannot speak, they give up. And that is an important, very important point, is ways to make them train and practice their English. So have them working on activities to train their listening. So since we're talking about listening, anybody would like to share an activity that works with their students, a listening activity that works really, really well with their students? Anybody would like to share? listening activity. We're going to talk about activities when we are next session about listening. Okay, we're going to talk about activities, but right now, anybody would like to share about listening activity?
At the moment, no, but when I was a teacher, not a university professor, I would love to make them understand what they are talking. So we go to the roots of the language, because sometimes we can connect the roots, what we are saying. For example, the word savage, where did it came from? We go to the Latin, we go to search for them being used to really understand the context. It's not just translated, it's just a mistake translate. You have to understand what you are saying.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good activity. Yeah. Any other activity that you would like to share? Maybe in the next slides or next activities, you're gonna be less shy, right? So I'm looking at the time, and it's 8:55, so we need to move on, okay, because we have more content to cover. So I need to hurry up, so we have time to cover everything that we need, that we have here. So TOEFL iBT, okay? See, it measures the ability to communicate, okay, by combining all 4 language skills: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. So that's what is the TOEFL iBT. That's what it measures. It measures the ability to communicate by combining all 4 languages, okay? It's 100% academically focused, okay? So it's not general. TOEFL iBT is not in general English, is 100% academic, and provides fair and objective scoring. That's why it's accepted by more than 11,500 institutions in more than 160 countries. So because it's 100% academic, and because the universities trust on the TOEFL iBT, because it's fair and objective in the way that they score the responses, that's why it's the most well-recognized, standardized test. And the research base for the TOEFL iBT test, it goes through a very, very reliable process. It's goes through a very how can I say, reliable analysis, right? And to measure how well someone can do something, let me see, no, it's this way here. Yeah, TOEFL iBT, yes. So how do test designers decide which task to include on the test? To measure how well someone can do something and then describe that performance, it is important to design tasks that closely resemble what people need to do in the real world. That's why then TOEFL iBT was designed. So TOEFL iBT researchers studied what students actually do in the university setting. This is called real-world task analysis. The task analysis is followed by an analysis of the language skills needed to complete the real-world tasks. All this information is used to create tasks for the test that reflect those that students need to complete in an academic setting. Ensure that this test tasks elicit the same language and language skills needed in the real academic world. This is important because it helps strengthen the inferences made about how well someone can perform in the real world based on the results of the test. So I would like to present the two types of research base for the TOEFL iBT. So these are two types, two examples of the research that was backed, right, and that was published in order to complete and in order to base all the tests and all the questions used for the test. So the MS-21 and the MS-25 are two very important examples of research projects on the TOEFL iBT used in order to create base for the TOEFL iBT. So on the list that we will share with you on the last day of the workshop, we're gonna include a link for you to go over all this research base, okay? All right, integrated skills approach. So some structures think it is easy to teach individual skills and that it's virtually impossible to teach more than one skill at a time. As a result, instructors and students often focus on certain language areas in isolations from others, such as the use and meaning of vocabulary and grammar. But to successfully help students develop the skills they need to effectively navigate English-speaking environment, instructors need to remember that while it's important for students to learn to use language accurately, they do not need to have perfect vocabulary and grammar to communicate. As Oxford points out, even if it were possible to fully develop one or two skills in the absence of all others, such an approach would not ensure accurate preparation for later success in academic communication. Career-related language use or everyday interaction in the language. So the integrated skills approach is authentic because it reflects how we really use language. When we speak or write, we're almost always responding to something we have listened to or read or both. So this is a skill that is included on the TOEFL iBT writing and speaking sections. And it's something very unique on the TOEFL iBT. And the universities appreciate and they rely a lot about on the TOEFL iBT because of these two sections on the TOEFL iBT, because it is assessed in depth the English proficiency of the candidate. What about the format of the test? Let's talk about the format. So in all the tests, the students will start with the reading and then the listening, and then they will have a 10-minute break, and then they will take the speaking and then the writing, okay? Today, I'm just going to talk about the reading, which is 3 to 4 reading passages, okay? The student will read 3 to 4 reading passages, And for each passage, they will respond to 10 questions each. This section will take around 54 to 72 minutes to finish. Okay, the score scale for this section, it goes from 0 to 30. Okay, 3 hours is the total of the test. In 3 hours, the student finishes the test. They don't need to take one part of the test, go home, and then come back to the testing center, or if they are taking the test home next day. No, it's in 3 hours direct. 3 hours, they finish the test. Okay, the score, the band score of the TOEFL iBT goes from 0 to 120. Okay, 0 to 120. Okay, with the experience that I have with the universities, okay, scores required in their programs, they required approximately, their required score is approximately 80 to 100. That's the minimum required score, okay, which is a B2 to C1 score. All right, this is a 1-minute video that I will play for you to just have an idea of the structure of the TOEFL iBT.
Before you take your TOEFL iBT test, make sure you understand how it is structured. The test has 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, and writing, and takes about 3 hours. First is the reading section. It has 3 academic reading passages, each with 10 multiple choice questions. Next is the listening section. It has 5 listening passages. 3 are academic lectures with 6 questions each, and 2 are campus conversations with 5 questions each. Your test may include additional unscored questions for reading or listening, but never both. Then there is a 10-minute break. After the break are the speaking and writing sections. In the speaking section, there are 4 tasks, and you speak your responses into the microphone. The writing section has 2 essays that you type into the computer or write on paper, depending on the testing option you chose. All 4 sections use real academic content, so you can prove you are ready for the English language demands of a university.
Okay, did the sound was okay? Was the sound okay?
Yeah, perfectly.
All right, all right. Okay, so let me
I have
see.
some participating getting late.
It's okay. Some participants
Yeah.
coming late. It's okay. No problem. 18. Let me see. They are welcome anytime.
Okay.
19, 18. Okay. 18. Okay. The TOEFL Home Edition. So I'm sure that you've heard about the TOEFL Home Edition, the test that the TOEFL Home Edition is the TOEFL, the modality, the way that the TOEFL that you can take from home is the same TOEFL iBT that you take at a testing center, but now the student can take, the test taker can take it from home, okay? It's the same test, okay? The only difference is that now they can take it from home. Oh, but so if I take it from home, so it means that it costs more if I take it from home. No, it's the same price, okay? It's the same test. It's the same way of paying, it's the same way of registering for the test, okay? It's the only difference is that now that you're going to use your equipment, okay? Your computer, okay? Your speakers, your camera, okay? But it's the same test, okay? So what I'm going to do now, it's before, let me see here. Yeah. It's before I play the video that I have about the TOEFL Home Edition. I would like to remind the teachers, okay, to always tell the students that if they choose to take the TOEFL iBT from home, they need to read all the requirements, okay, all the requirements about the TOEFL Home Edition, all the equipment that they need to have, because it needs to have a certain type of a computer, for example, a computer system. They cannot use this type of earphone that I'm using, okay? They cannot use the same headset that Andressa is using. Nothing can cover their ears, okay? All the equipment system needs to go through a system check. So it's important that they know all the requirements before they even register for the test, okay? So on the list, we're going to provide a link for all the readiness, all the necessary equipments that the student or the teacher, okay, who decides to take the test from home, okay? It's not a equipment like, oh, it's an equipment that I need to buy, it's very expensive, but no, you might have all the equipment necessary at home. You just need to be prepared. You just need to download, you just need to have, for example, everything ready in order for you don't have any type of technical issue, okay? I'm going to play the video and you will understand, okay? And I'm checking the time. Let me see. And I will have time to finish.
The TOEFL iBT Home Edition is a safe and convenient testing option that you can take right at home. It's the same TOEFL iBT test that you take at a test center. The only differences are you use your own equipment and you are monitored online by a human proctor. To take the test at home, you will need a desktop or laptop computer. It can be either a PC or a Mac. A camera that can be moved to show the proctor the entire room. A microphone and a speaker. Headsets are not permitted for this test. For more specific details about equipment requirements, visit the Home Edition website. You will need to download and install the ETS test browser on the computer you will use for the test. To fully install the browser, you must run the file after downloading it. Next, check your equipment by running the ProctorU equipment check. This will confirm that your computer, camera, microphone, and speaker meet the requirements for the test. Be sure that your room meets the requirements for testing. For the test, you must be in a room alone, preferably at home. Outdoor and public spaces are not permitted. Your computer must be on a desk or table, and you need to sit in a standard chair. The testing area must be clear of all items not approved for use during the test. Once you confirm that your equipment and testing room will meet the requirements for test day, you are ready to register. To register, log into your ETS account and select Register. On the Find Test Centers and Dates page, select Home Edition. Verify your email address, then continue. Confirm your time zone. Then select your test date and time. Follow the directions to continue your registration and pay for your test. You will receive a confirmation email from ETS. The email will include a link to start your test on test day. Here are some tips to help you get ready for your test. To take notes during the test, you can use a whiteboard or a piece of paper inside a transparent sheet protector with an erasable marker. Don't wear headphones or earphones. Bring a small mirror or your mobile phone for check-in, and have your ID ready to show the proctor. When it's time for your test, use the link in your confirmation email or in your ETS account to check in and start your test. Be sure to check in within 12 minutes of your scheduled start time. Otherwise, your test will be canceled. When you start your session, the proctor will walk you through the check-in process. You will need to show your ID and show your computer screen using a small mirror or your mobile phone. Then you will use your computer camera to show a 360-degree view of the room. During the test, make sure that you can be seen by the proctor at all times. Avoid doing anything that may look suspicious, like talking out loud to yourself or looking away from the screen. After the listening section, there is a 10-minute break. You can leave your seat, but you must return on time. At the end of the test, you can view your unofficial reading and listening scores. Then you will have the option to report or cancel your scores. You will receive your official scores 6 to 10 days after your test in your ETS account. Your scores are valid for 2 years after your test date. Good luck on your TOEFL iBT Home Edition test, the test that helps you keep your dreams on track.
All righty. So, question for this part, I'm gonna leave for. I see that we have people here have added comments on the chat, and Andressa, if there is any questions, I will ask. But if there is no question, we'll leave it for the end of the workshop, okay?
No questions yet. Just Johan have problems to watch a video, just listening, but the others could.
Oh, okay. But how was the sound? How was the audio of the video?
It was fine.
Oh,
Okay, there is a question.
right.
Larissa asked me, what if your room has a wardrobe or a bed? Is it possible to do the test?
Yes, no problem for bed, no problem for no problem. What you cannot have in your room is cell phone, any equipments like videos, cameras, any equipments that might be suspicious for the monitor, for the human proctor, okay? But bed, wardrobe, any furniture is fine, okay? All right, so reading. We are on, we finally started the reading part, which I'm hoping that we'll finish before 7:30, okay? Nearly all English-speaking academic situation requires students to do a lot of reading. Students will need to read their textbooks and understand the information there well enough to discuss it and write about it. To be successful in an academic situation, students will need to be able to read efficiently and accurately in English. So how is, so you have your manual with you, right? You have your manual with you.
I've sent the link earlier.
Were you able to open the manual? Can you open on page 12 to 22?
in the same link, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just a second. Menu activities. It's just a little bit lazy to open it.
If you're not able to open it, we'll leave it for next section. Maybe we will leave it for next session. And
Okay.
yeah, okay, we'll leave it for next session. Okay, so the reading passages are all authentic texts that come from academic resources. The reading questions measure the ability to comprehend basic facts and vocabulary, the ability to make inference on the sentence level or across multiple parts of a text, and the ability to read to learn, for example, the ability to distinguish essential points of information from non-essential information. As indicated before, raw scores are converted to a scale score, 0 to 30. So the students will read 3 to 4 passages from an academic text, which are 700 words long, and they will then answer to 10 questions for each passages, okay? And the tasks design will measure reading for basic comprehension and inference and reading to learn. And reading purposes in academic setting are for basic comprehension, learning, and inferencing, okay? This one I will skip. And the types of texts, the types of texts are narration, exposition, narrations which you will describe of an description of an event or a historical or biographical topic, exposition, which are explanation of ideas, argumentation, which are providing reasons leading to a conclusion. And these texts will generally fall into one of these categories: description, definition, sequence, procedure, cause effect, classification, compare contrast, and problem solution. So this is pretty much what the types of text that the test takers will find on the TOEFL iBT, okay? And this is an example of one text, one passage that the test taker will read, okay, on the reading section. I would like you to take a moment, 1 minute, to go over. I'm sorry, but you might find it a little bit too small, the letters, but when the test taker will take it, it will be a little bit bigger, okay? The letters, okay, will be a little bit bigger, okay? So it's about 3 paragraphs, the text, okay, 700 words, around 60 to 700 words long, the text. The language is not very difficult. I would say it's a B1 to C1 level, English level, okay? That's why if your student has a basic level, he will have a little bit of difficult, or I would say he will have difficult to read this text. So the student is to be an intermediate student, intermediate level of student. The student has to be an intermediate student, has to have an intermediate level of English in order to read well this text, okay? And that's why, like Johan has shared, practice. There are lots of ways to practice your English. For example, on the website, on the TOEFL iBT website, there are many types of texts, okay, used on previous tests. So I highly recommend that you use those tests in the handbook that we have provided, okay, the handbook. And please let me know if that's the correct link that I have shared. If not, let me know that, and then I will send it to Andressa and she will send it to you, okay, the correct one. Because I can send it the right one, because if it's not the correct one, if it's not working, we can send the correct one. Okay, so usually it's gonna be 3 paragraphs.
It's the link we have, it's Propell Workshop for TOEFL iBT test. We have speaking materials, writing materials, manual activities, and PowerPoint audio files. Is this one?
Okay. Okay, I know what happened. I will share it just a second, and I will share it directly from my computer so you can share with the student. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we've learned one type of text. Now let's learn about types of questions on the reading section. Types of questions. Okay. For the basic comprehension criteria, we have vocabulary, sentence simplification, and factual and negative factive types of question. Sorry. On the reading to learning category, we have prose, summary, classify, categorize, and organize types of questions. And in the inference category, there is inference, rhetorical purpose, and inserts text types of question. Oh, but we will find all those types of questions in one single text? In one single test? No. You won't see all those types of questions, but you will see some of them, okay? All right. So this is one example, okay? It's called sentence simplification question. So this is one type of question sent on the reading section. Sentence simplification questions will ask the test taker to identify a sentence that has essentially the same meaning as a sentence from the reading passage. The correct answer choice contains the main ideas from the sentence in the passage, but may leave out minor or unimportant details. It should restate the most important information in a simpler way. Learning objectives of the sentence simplification question is to recognize and create accurate paraphrases of information from a text. They usually ask you to identify a sentence that has essentially the same meaning as the sentence from the reading question. Now, what do you think could be the best answer? A, B, C, or D? What do you think? A, B, C, or D? Any guess?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. So since I'm looking at the time, I will give you what the answer is. The letter A, okay? For this sentence, okay? So it's letter A because all of the important information is aligned with the given sentence. Both the given sentence and choice A talk about the large amounts of nitric acid and melted rock that were the result of the explosion, and that started fires that destroyed plant life. The other responses have content that were not, or that contradicts the highlighted sentence. Okay. All right, so this is a video that we have. It's a very short video that I really like. I like to talk about this type of YouTube videos, official series, official TOEFL iBT video series, and they talk about each type of questions on the TOEFL iBT, okay? And this one is specifically about the reading section of the TOEFL, and it's called insert text question. This one talks about the question, the insert text question, okay? And I am going to I'm going to play it because it's very short. It's only 2 minutes. And after this video, I will be ready for any questions that you have about the reading section, okay? Because it talks about one different type of question, okay? And after that, I will be ready for any type of question that you might have about the TOEFL. Any question that you might have about what we discussed today.
Hi, I'm Michael from ETS. Today on Inside the TOEFL Test, we're going inside the TOEFL iBT reading section, specifically the insert text questions. The insert text questions are designed to show that you understand the logical order of ideas in a reading passage. In the reading section, every reading passage has one insert text question. But instead of choosing from a list of 4 choices, like with most reading questions, you will click on one of the 4 black squares to insert the text into the paragraph. During the real test, you can change the location of the sentence as many times as you need to, so you can see how it works in each of the 4 places. Here's a sample insert text question and the corresponding paragraph. Note that the sentence says, "This is the criterion," and it's important to look for pronouns. The pronoun here is this, so there's probably something about a criterion in the previous sentence. If we insert the sentence at square number 4, the previous sentence talks about the standard criterion, and the following sentence says, "Yet an equally important criterion." So that's a likely choice. And when you read those sentences together, the sentences do flow logically. So this is the correct answer. One tip for improving your reading is to really know your pronouns and to practice matching them to the words they refer to in a text. Here are a few of the most common pronouns that you will see when you read. There are lots of ways to improve your English skills. Whatever you do, keep practicing. And good luck on your TOEFL test.
So this was one example of resources for you to share with your students. I like those videos because they go in depth with each question of the TOEFL iBT. This one is very short, but there are those types of videos with 5, 7, 8 minutes. For example, the speaking section, the writing section. So it's very interesting when you are studying for a test like the TOEFL iBT and you watch these types of videos that they they give a lot of details about these questions. I really like to recommend these videos for the test takers. Now, because of the time, I'm gonna leave the 2 or 3 minutes for any questions that you might have about this first part of the workshop. And next week at Professor Canella, Professor Edson Canella will be here to present the listening and the speaking sections of the TOEFL iBT. It's not next week, it's this
Thursday.
week, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, yeah.
Okay, I have one from YouTube. It's asking if the teachers must have the TOEFL test. For me, it's obvious.
It depends. Yeah, it depends if they want to take it, if they need to take it, if they are required to take it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
The
questions
TOEFL,
yet?
you only take the TOEFL iBT if you are required to take it, or if you want to take it in order to prove your English proficiency, to apply or to show your English proficiency, to apply for jobs, to apply for scholarship opportunities. Okay.
Cassia and Clayton saying that it was great and they don't have questions. And thanking you for the workshop.
Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here and to share information about the TOEFL iBT and learning from your experiences and learning and having your inputs and insights. I know that you have a lot to share about your experiences as a teachers, as English teachers, and I'm very happy to have this opportunity to be here. And don't forget that on Thursday, we'll be presenting the listening and the speaking part of the TOEFL iBT. Okay?
Okay. Would like to thank you all for participation, and I put the attendance list on the chat. Okay. I thank you again, Mr.